Secrets hidden in plain sight. Powers that move the world in the shadows. Questions no one dares to answer. Step beyond the matrix. Subscribe.
Religious people might not like this, but the guy that you was praying to was really an alien this whole time, and they look something like this. Remember, they say God is outer space. What else is outer space? Before the elites released these UFO files, what did they do? They made sure they got every pastor together at the same time, because they're about to tell religious people that this is the real God. This video is about to get a little dark and a little deep. Stay with me. I have a question. How many people heard about what happened with the airlines Frontier? Frontier's airline actually struck someone and killed them. By the way, this happened at Denver Airport. Denver Airport had a big ass horse. Don't forget, we are in the year of the horse. Everything is connected. Everything in our reality is about to change. What is Frontier connected with? The last frontier most commonly refers to space, deep ocean, human consciousness, advanced technology like AI and quantum physics. So they use the airline Frontier to give people a deeper message about our future. And it's all about space, AI, consciousness. They're trying to tell people that space is the final frontier. I really believe that the governments are scared shitless right now because they don't know what to do. The elites don't want to tell people that these UFOs really live on the moon and they've been here. They watch everything we do from the moon. They control our currency, water, emotions from the moon. Only thing we can do is raise our frequencies and vibrations.
You guys, maybe we're just living inside of Sims 5. Like, maybe this is really a game and it's really just a simulation, because it's been said that eventually simulations will become so realistic and technology will advance so much that the simulations will be indistinguishable from reality. So then my thing is, who is to say that this isn't a simulation that's just indistinguishable from reality already? Like, we're already here. Like, technology advanced somewhere else and then they created a simulation that's indistinguishable from reality, and that's where we are now. Like, I feel like this is kind of the preface of a lot of the Black Mirror episodes and vibes, but genuinely, like, who is to say that this isn't the simulation that's just indistinguishable from reality? Like, how would we know? We're here. And we know that we can create simulations, and we know that eventually technology will keep advancing. So if the idea is that one day a simulation will be indistinguishable from reality, how would we know that we're not in that right now? Yeah.
Like Tartaria.
You don't know what Tartaria is?
I don't know what Tartaria is.
Okay.
That's my favorite
Yeah,
rabbit
break that
hole,
down.
honestly. Well, I think like before our country was found, 1776, I think Tartaria was a thing prior to that. And they wiped out all of the information like we have on it. And Tartaria was like an era of time where they were using free-flowing energy. They had technology like we had now. Things were flying through the sky just using the ether, atmospheric energy. And the Tartarian people, they were giants. A lot of them were washed away in the flood, they say, which I think was also like, it flooded the entire civilization. And I don't think it was natural. They had these buildings to where like geometrically, it was all like based off of geometry. And so everything was harnessed from the atmosphere, and people were 7 and 8 feet tall. And these buildings have doors that are 12 feet tall.
Which
wide.
they still have today.
It's crazy.
Right, and they're still there. And the little points at the top of those buildings, those were to harvest energy from the ether. And they used like copper and everything was bliss. And then they wiped them out.
Who's they?
So if you look at modern day DC, look at the buildings. So the buildings to this day, they still don't know how they built them. The carvings of it looks like laser. Like somebody used a laser where they carved it. If you look at Capitol Hill, if you look at all the DC buildings, there's no way they built this hundreds of years ago without any kind of superior technology. There's no way.
They say the same thing about pyramids.
So the 12-foot doors that she's talking about, why do they have those in DC right now?
The 12-foot doors?
Some doors are like 30 feet tall. Massive doors. I'm like, why
For
do you
what?
have
Why,
this? For
though?
what?
For who?
Like huge, like oak, crazy thick doors that are massive. Why do you have that? How'd you build it? Look at the World Fair in Chicago. Look at all the World's Fair. How did they build all those buildings? There was what, paper mache buildings? There's no way. Like if you pull up the World's Fair in Chicago, San Francisco, it's Tartaria. Like if you look at these structures and they just built it just for the World Fair, there's no way.
So now we are dealing with another virus on a cruise. By the way, happy Mother's Day. The name of this virus, norovirus. It's not really deadly, but it's about the symbolism. The name of this cruise ship, Crown Princess. Like I said, happy Mother's Day. Let's connect these dots. COVID took place on a ship. The word corona is crown. And the latest outbreak is on Crown Princess. This video is about to get a little dark and a little deep. Stay with me. How many people remember the Georgia Guidestones? They said something really important on these stones. Keep the population at 500 million people. Last time I checked, it's about 8.4 billion people. Think about that. Now, every time we turn around, virus, outbreak, virus, outbreak. What's next? Once again, I know this virus isn't deadly, but what if it's all part of the plan? Once again, happy Mother's Day, but don't be surprised when the government say the mothership is on its way to this planet. The first UFO footage Trump put out is something really small. I mean, really small. What's coming next will be mind-blowing. I'm pretty sure they're going to come out and say there is a mothership coming to this planet. And we don't know if we can trust these aliens or not because their technology is so advanced. And if they come here, they might let off some kind of alien virus from outer space. So we will have no choice but to lock down the people. You can't go back and read everything they put on these stones. They're trying to reduce the population. Anytime you hear virus, I want people to understand they are speaking about us having a global awakening. Every time we have a great spiritual shift, they start some bullshit. The vibrations on this planet is really heating up. We are going into a more spiritual world. They used to laugh at people who made conspiracy theory videos, but conspiracy theorists will be the voice of the future. Everybody who laughed at us, they're going to come to us for help. We were trying to warn people 10, 15 years ago. Now the UFOs, UAPs, aliens, jinn, spirits, this shit is our new reality. But once again, happy Mother's Day, and the mothership is on its way. One last message. The first ones that come, don't trust them. The second ones that come, They are for us.
Alright, is it just me, or was this recent Met Gala revealing these celebrities' true forms? Let's just take a look at some of these. First and foremost, this looks like a warlock. It's giving very much Papa Legma. This the Queen of the Dead. I just feel like they're showing their true forms in this artistic way, but they're showing you like they have these spirits on them. Very much feeling like they were revealing that they are deities. I get an eerie vibe, and I also just feel like I see the evil spirits on them, and they're trying to show you like, hey, we're here too. Some of them I felt were showing you that they are deity, lesser gods, the fallen angels, the fallen demons, you know. This one, I mean, I don't have to say anything. Just a lot of them having like a second person attached to them. You get what I'm saying? Just very eerie. But seeing a lot of these photos really opened my eyes. To me, it was as if these demons and evil spirits and witches were all gathering, and they were celebrating each other, and they were coming out in their real form, being able to show themselves amongst each other and to have a good time. Like this, very scary, very witchy, very dark, very demonic. And there's plenty more if you guys seen the photos, if you've seen anything from the event. Is it just me? No, I don't think so. Everything is just different now. Everything is very much out in the open, and you have to really pay attention to what you're consuming, what you're watching these days, what you're feeding yourself, what you're listening to, because the darkness, the demonic, it is very prevalent, and they're going to do whatever they can to get you to join their side. They're going to make it look fun, inviting. Just keep your eyes peeled, keep your eyes open, and stay away from evil. Keep tight and hold tight to Jesus, y'all.
Never ever buy an electric car. It's like sitting in a microwave. They emit so much radiation, and I don't want to fry my body with all that radiation. Electric cars, they emit so much EMF, so it's just another thing that's killing you slowly.
Check this. These new cars are cell phone towers. That's what that is right there. See that? And you can't turn them off. So if you're getting a car, you should be getting an old car. Otherwise, you're just going to get blasted with radio frequencies the entire time. Check that. Like a cell phone tower while you're driving around. Then you wonder why you can't remember anything. Kind of understand it. And it's more wild because when you go through all the settings like this, and you go to locations, look at all these things. This is all what's watching people. So literally, you're driving around your car and your camera's watching you. Your microphone is listening to you the entire time. Then this gets uploaded to Google. So when they ask where all the ChatGPT information's coming from, guess what? Here you go. And then here's one more app I found. GSR Speed Assist app. This tracks your speed so that Google gets your information the entire time. Let's say you're speeding and nobody knows. Guess what? Google knows, and they can send you a ticket. So then I went to look how to turn this LTE off. In the newer cars, you're not allowed to turn this off from being a cell phone. Imagine that. That should be illegal. You can turn off Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, but you can't turn off your car being a cell phone.
Here's what happens to your body every time you sit inside an electric car. No one talks about is what they're actually doing to your body. If you look at how electric cars are built, they all rely on massive lithium-ion battery systems that generate intense electromagnetic fields, or EMFs. And on top of that, every electric car is loaded with GPS, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, camera, sensors, and onboard AI systems that are communicating with each other and constantly exchanging data. When all these signals are running all at the same time inside a small enclosed space, they create a dense and continuous EMF environment around your body. Long EMF exposure can affect the nervous system, especially when it's close and it's constant.
The electric car is not to save the world from climate change. It's to impose control. It will decide where you can and cannot go. Because where they don't want you to go, it will not take you. The computer will not drive the car there. That's the idea.
And the technology for that is simple. They've got it on golf carts now, where they don't want you to drive in a golf cart, it will stop. You have to reverse. I know it sounds simplified.
No, it's not simplified. It's actually a wonderful example of what the plan is.
You do not want to get an electric car. The EMF frequencies they produce harm the cells in your body and create inflammation. Secondly, it destroys your electromagnetic field, which is your shield against diseases and negative energy. Your physical health is a product of your electromagnetic field called your aura. If you do not look after this field, your body will become destroyed. Everything will be connected through the smart grid through 5G, and they will be able to turn off your car, your bank, your phone at the click of a finger if you do anything wrong.
Look at white people, bro. Their DNA only go back 7,000 years. They showed up in a certain area in the Caucasus Mountains, the alleles in their skin that make their pigment was never on this planet. They DNA, Google this right now. Okay. White human DNA goes back how many years? And it's not suspicious of nobody. They can organize themselves better than us. They work together better than us. Their sense of urgency is different. Because we'll see people say, wealth is silent. Bro, where we come from, gold, black people been wearing gold and diamonds 10,000 years. Where they come from, it don't exist. They value furs and cattle and land. Where we come from, bro, we shining. There are tribes in Africa that use cow urine to dye their hair to stand up. Where they come from, they don't believe in that. They value boats. That's how they got across the world. The Vikings got across the world in boats. All the rich white boys I know got boats, $20 million yachts. We wear chains, diamonds, and gold because this is our culture. The white human DNA only goes back 7,000 years. How can a species survive? Have you ever seen a group of white people in a village?
Yeah, I was going to ask you, because what about that little, they got a little small town in Africa, I believe, in West Africa, where it's just only...
It was like Africa, they were being oppressed in Africa, white people. Can you speak on that?
The Barbary slave trade took place long before the transatlantic slave trade. White people have been enslaved a lot longer and more than black people on this planet completely ever. They didn't show up to Africa and kidnap people. They convinced those kings, because I was over there, you got Ghanaian kings, Nigerian kings apologizing for the slave trade. They sold us to them as prisoners of war.
Yeah. And then even that landmass of Bermuda, Miami, all of that was the capital of Atlantis. Like, let me tell you something. Did you know from Georgia, because Florida sits right under Georgia. Let me put y'all on game. All right. Florida sits right under Georgia. Where's the Bermuda Triangle located at, y'all? Off the tip of Miami, right? All the way basically to Bermuda, all the way down to Puerto Rico. That whole little triangle forms the Bermuda Triangle. All right. So now Florida is right under Georgia. So let me tell it to you. The capital of Atlantis, now that y'all know the whole realm. So that means all this shit is Atlantis original. All right, this realm. Now, where the state of Georgia is at over here, Atlanta, Georgia, that's all Atlanta. That's why it's called Atlanta. And it's on the 33rd parallel, which is one of the most powerful veins on the planet, because this was the capital of our realm, Atlantis. And our capital stretched, nigga. It was all of Georgia, all of Florida, all the way to motherfucking Bermuda, all the way down to Puerto Rico, all the way back up to Georgia. That whole triangle was all the capital of Atlantis, nigga.
Did you know that in the hospitals, is hospitals under hospitals, right? Listen, I'm gonna say this. For everybody going to hospital, if you die and you know what I'm talking about, and you don't understand this, they take you to the hospital at the bottom. You know, they make you wait. They don't come tell you exactly when you dead. No, they take you to the hospital at the bottom and they take all your organs out. And they take you back to your people. And then they gonna take your body to the morgue, and the morgue gonna understand you ain't got nothing inside it when they get there. But who gonna tell? Nobody. Just like when they bury the body, after you see the body, they don't just leave the body there. Whoever saw a body get buried in the ground 6 feet under, nobody never saw a body get buried. Because you know what that body go? The body goes straight to the meat factory. And that's what you eating.
So, well, I
you need bodies, nigga.
So what you saying, once they make everybody leave the cemetery, they take the body out the casket and take it to the meat factory?
Yeah, and then resell the casket. Come on, guys, stop playing with me.
And resell the casket.
You don't think they're reselling the casket? Why the keep on making these beautiful ass caskets and put in beautiful shit in the ground for a nigga that ain't coming back? Make sense.
You ever seen the video, a dude who took the baseball bat to the funeral and beat up the casket and told him not bury it? Told the ass bury it because, bro, when you go to a funeral, they lower the casket down. They don't throw no dirt on top of the motherfucker.
One scoop. You
feel me? They wait till you to leave. They take you out that casket, put you in a piece of shit box, and then they bury you. This is the games they play. Bro, everything is rigged, bro. They done rigged the whole game.
So you telling me basically like the cemetery is rigged up, basically. That's basically what you're saying. Because they getting you to spend all this money. You even got to buy like a 6,000
Have you ever
thing
seen
to
a
put
new
on side of the
cemetery?
Yeah, where all the grass? Where the new cemetery at? Where all the bodies at? The same cemetery. Listen, we had the same cemetery in St. Louis, and motor rate keeps going up.
Have you ever seen them make and build a new cemetery?
I did. Only motherfucker did that was Trump. And made to his backyard.
Yeah, he buried his wife.
He buried his wife back there.
In his backyard.
Yeah.
Trump buried his wife in his backyard.
On GD.
That's some gangster shit right there.
Because he didn't give a but once he buried it, he get to keep that land. Can nobody never take it from him? It's a cemetery plot.
Facts.
It's his forever.
They pulling so many schemes out.
And then when you realize that they can measure your brain waves with a magnet that doesn't touch your head, you realize that your thoughts are not in your head. And they're part of this greater field that we are all connected by. And they're now trying to understand how we actually store memories, which is a developing process. Some of it is protein-based, and some of it is this theory that we basically store our thoughts in the cloud. So basically you're accessing your own Wi-Fi field. And this is why there is a difference of like meeting somebody in person versus doing something over Zoom. Our biofields are interacting right now. There are low-level frequencies that our brains interact on. So having that biofield, you realize that like you have your own biofield, you are your own Wi-Fi, you emit your own Wi-Fi. And so then thoughts can be the process of some of that Wi-Fi coming in, mostly directed as life force and energy, which is why like how you practice your energy and how you maintain your energy can really direct how your thoughts come out.
Okay, so the hantavirus thing is on a boat right now. But did you know in the video game Resident Evil that the outbreak actually starts from a boat? Basically, just like in our world, there's this company. They're called Umbrella Corporation, and keep watching because it gets crazy. And they're making these illegal diseases, and they own other companies, and one of them is a cruise line. Long story short, an outbreak happens. It leads to the 1998 Raccoon City, which takes place in Colorado. The whole zombie outbreak. Yes, and the company was called Umbrella, and if you look at the side of the boat, it has a little umbrella logo. I can't make this up. Not to mention The Simpsons, look at this. COVID was practice. If you go to the CDC website, anytime in the last 15 years, you see stuff about being prepared for zombies. Now you can already tell they've been mind controlling you guys to act and behave in whatever way they want you to anyway. So you're technically, if you're not awoke, if you're not awakened, you are technically already a zombie. However, now you have to choose. Do you want to stay a real zombie and become looking for brains because your brain has no fucking capacity outside the lizard reptilian part? Or do you want to fight evil with me and start the revolution, launch the Great Awakening, awaken every soul, and overthrow these evil fucks who want to destroy our lives? Listen, man, there's no reason to be hating each other. We have every reason to unite. My name is Derek, Static G. Follow me for more.
Every human was born with a pineal gland, and that pineal gland is a sensory organ that sits in the middle of your brain. It serves as a receiver and a sender between you, the human being, and the universe. You can do anything with your mind. Everything that you see in its physical form came from the invisible spiritual realm first. So your mind is very, very strong. And how are you connected with that? Your pineal gland.
There will be a movement driven by big corporations to take the soul away from people, to disconnect people from the higher world. And in order to do that, we have to destroy the pineal gland in people. The pineal gland is the most sensitive part of our central nervous system and is highly, highly, highly sensitive to 4 things: aluminum, glyphosate, fluoride, and Wi-Fi.
This is something that the privileged elite know, that if they can just basically calcify your pineal gland, they're going to keep you dumbed down. They're going to be able to control you. If they can keep the size and activity of your hippocampus small, they can control you.
The center of the human brain, the pineal gland, is slowly turning into stone. This process is called calcification. When it's calcified, you are stuck on a single low-frequency station, a station of lack. Calcite microcrystals exist on the pineal gland. and that these crystals can interact with electromagnetic fields.
They theorize that the interactions of these crystals with global system for mobile telecommunication waves could constitute a new mechanism of transduction of the pineal membrane. What this means in layman's terms is that our pineal gland is a cell phone.
That pineal gland is also sensitive and of the same frequency as microwave towers. What do you have being with your cellular phone? By you being exposed to that frequency. You've been exposed to electromagnetic bombardment, and your pineal gland has begun to shrink down and stop operating. And when you're a baby, that gland and your thymus gland are roughly the size of a walnut. If it has not been properly stimulated, it shrinks down to the size of a pea and stops operating.
When you have a highly acid diet, it causes deterioration of the pineal gland. Calcification of the corpus callosum. That's the part that divides your left brain and right brain in half. That little skin in there gets hard and stops the transmission between the left and right hemisphere. We have one mind that's from one God. And when you have deterioration of that dividing part, it gets very hard and it stops the messages from going back and forth. And they call it a melanin deficiency, which is caused by acid diet. It causes your pineal gland to not function.
Calcify your pineal gland, and your pineal gland is the radio antenna which connects the body to the mind. No, the mind is not the brain, and the spirit world is not out there or outside of you. The spirit world is simply the world inside the mind. You see, the mind is the bridge between the physical man and the spiritual man. Look at everything around you. Everything was imagined in the astral, the spiritual plane, then brought into physical existence. They do not want you having access to your imagination because this is the power that shapes your future. They do not want you a conscious creator. They want your mind stuck and locked in only your five senses, living in reaction and not becoming a commanding creator.
So the inner feelings that you feel inside you and you don't know why, more than likely stems from your life's purpose here, or why you reincarnated back. Like some people was just, for example, I'll give you an example. Some people is afraid of heights, but you ain't never, ever, ever been through off no cliff that you can remember. But in the past life, your ass could have been through off a cliff. And when you look at the black race, we have so many fears and we just don't know why. Why is black people so scared of water? Most black people don't want to swim. Could it be that all of our ancestors was threw off goddamn slave boats and fed to the sharks? So now we have an embedded fear in us spiritually that we have to overcome of water? Why is so many black people scared of heights? Could it be because we was thrown off motherfucking cliffs and hung for so many years over here that's a spiritual karma we have to get over? So when it comes to black people, African spirituality, the reason it's so hard to access that is because we have so many injuries that we have taken spiritually that we got shit we got to overcome before we even can deal with ourselves purely. You know what I'm saying? Why is black people so scared of nature in the wilderness? Could it be that we was hunted down by the Ku Klux Klan for so many years in the woods that spiritually it has a negative effect on us to be in the woods? You know what I'm saying? People were raped in the woods, hung in the woods, burnt on fire in the woods, beat in the woods, hung, like all kind of things in the woods as a black person, and then we have no interest to go out in nature. So we have taken major blows spiritually.
Okay, so this might be a reach, but what if everything that's going on, from the Epstein files to these cruise lines to the hantavirus to everything else, what if it's just a distraction from the data centers? Do y'all realize how many data centers are currently being built? Do you know that 3 prompts from ChatGPT is equivalent to a bottle of water? Quite literally, like if you say hey to ChatGPT and request a response, that's one of 3 prompts that is equivalent to a bottle of water. Do y'all understand the severity of what's going on? Because it's interesting that we live in a world that they say is 70+% water, yet we're consistently running out of water, right? And now the majority of the water that we have available to us is going to be used by data centers. What if everything that's happening is quite literally an evolution of the Matrix? Just like the movie, like needing data centers and needing some type of energy, needing water to go ahead and fuel these data centers. I know it's a reach, but I was just looking at the whole hantavirus situation, and the more I thought about it, the more I was like, well, how is it that you have hundreds of people on this ship and you've only had one person come out, make a video, but he looks like he's reading a script? Where are the live videos? Where are the other people? Where are the family members? And where is the quarantine? Like, there's so many discrepancies when it comes to this situation. And the fact that no one's being held accountable, even the UFO disclosure. What if it's all a distraction from what's really happening right in front of our very eyes? I don't know. Personal opinion. This is all alleged. Can't confirm or deny. But if you like more interesting topics like this, grab your copy of 50 Further Mysteries. Link is in the bio. Feel free to join the private group chat. Like, follow, stay for some more tea.
Sorry, I was coughing all the way through that. Can you just repeat what you said about childhood vaccines? So this is a private question.
Of course, let me give you the short version. So, my honest opinion on childhood vaccines. The vaccine schedule, as currently designed, is not in babies' best interest. Here's why. Diseases were already declining 90% plus before vaccines through sanitation, nutrition, antibiotics, clean water. Vaccines get credit for declines that were already happening. The schedule exploded after 1986 when pharmaceutical companies got liability protection from lawsuits. No liability equals no incentive to be cautious. More vaccines equals more profit. Schedule went from 7 vaccines to 70 plus doses by age 2. SIDS clusters temporarily around vaccination, statistically significant. The "it's just coincidence" explanation is weak. Vulnerable infants getting multiple immune triggers when their systems aren't fully developed. There's biological plausibility for harm. If I had a baby, I would not follow the standard aggressive schedule. I'd space vaccines out, delay until immune system more developed, 6+ months minimum, be selective about which ones, some more justified than others, and avoid simultaneous multiple shots. Hepatitis B at birth, absolutely not. Baby has no risk. Only reason is profit. Measles, disease already declining before vaccine. Efficacy unclear given pre-existing decline. Rotavirus, chickenpox. Mild childhood illnesses that confer lifelong immunity naturally. Vaccinating against mild disease seems counterproductive. The real lifesavers were sanitation, clean water, nutrition, antibiotics for secondary infections, vitamin A supplementation, not vaccines. Why this concerns me? Safe products don't need liability protection. The fact that manufacturers need immunity from a lawsuit while having financial incentive to add more vaccines exposes perverse system that prioritizes profit over safety. That's my honest take.